It's midnight, and while everyone else is asleep, you're finally awake. Not tired, not forcing yourself to stay up, but genuinely alive. The house is quiet. The world has stopped demanding things from you. And for the first time all day, you can breathe. You can think. You can be yourself without interruption. If you're a night person, you know this feeling. The pull toward the late hours. The resistance to going to bed even when you're exhausted. The sense that nighttime is when you truly come alive, when your mind works best, when you finally have space to exist on your own terms. But you also know the judgment that comes with it. You're told you're lazy for sleeping in, undisciplined for not being a morning person, that you're wasting your life, missing the best part of the day, that successful people wake up early as if your biology is a moral failing, as if choosing night over day says something defective about your character. So what's really happening when you stay up late? Is it just procrastination? Or is there something deeper? What does the psychology reveal about people who are drawn to the night? And why does the world punish what might actually be your natural rhythm? Let's start with the science. Your sleep-wake cycle is controlled by your circadian rhythm, an internal biological clock that regulates when you feel alert and when you feel sleepy. And here's what most people don't realize. These rhythms vary significantly between individuals. Some people are genetically programmed to be morning people, or larks. Their bodies naturally wake early and tire early. Others are evening people, or night owls. Their bodies naturally wake later and stay alert longer into the night. This isn't a choice or a habit. It's biology. It's in your genes. Research has identified specific gene variations associated with being a night owl. The PER3 gene, the clock gene, variations in these affect how your internal clock runs. Some people's clocks run slightly longer than 24 hours, making them naturally shift towards staying up late and waking up late. You're not being difficult. Your biology is literally different. But society is built for morning people. School starts early. Work starts early. Important meetings happen in the morning when night owls are still in their cognitive fog. The entire structure of modern life assumes everyone operates best in the morning. And if you don't, you're made to feel like you're doing something wrong. Here's what night owls often experience. You're most alert and creative late at night. Your brain comes alive after dark. Ideas flow. Focus sharpens. The mental fog that plagued you all day finally lifts. This is when you do your best work, your deepest thinking, your most creative expression. But the world is asleep. So you're productive when no one needs you to be, and sluggish when everyone expects you to perform. You spend your mornings in a haze, your afternoons catching up, and your evenings finally hitting your stride just as everyone else is winding down. And people don't get it. They think you're just staying up too late, that if you'd just go to bed earlier, you'd be fine in the morning. But it doesn't work that way. You can go to bed at 10, lie there for hours, unable to sleep, and still wake up exhausted because you forced your body out of its natural rhythm. Let's talk about the psychology beyond biology. Because yes, genetics play a role, but so does what the night offers psychologically that daytime doesn't. First, nighttime offers solitude and control. During the day, you're constantly interrupted. People need things from you. Your phone won't stop. The world makes demands. But at night, everyone's asleep. The demands stop. And finally, you have time that's entirely yours. Time where no one can reach you, ask you for anything, or interrupt your thoughts. For people who feel overwhelmed by the constant demands of daytime life, night becomes a refuge. It's the only time you're truly free. And giving that up, going to bed when you're supposed to, feels like surrendering the only freedom you have. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Second, nighttime offers creative flow. Many artists, writers, musicians, and creative people are night owls. And it's not just because they're bohemian or rebellious. It's because nighttime provides the uninterrupted mental space creativity requires. During the day, your mind is fragmented. You're switching between tasks, responding to inputs, managing obligations. But at night, you can sink into deep focus. You can follow a thought wherever it leads without someone pulling you away. That's when creativity happens. That's when breakthroughs occur. Third, nighttime offers emotional safety. For some people, daytime feels performative. You have to be on, be productive, be the version of yourself that's acceptable to the world. But at night, you can drop the mask. You can feel what you actually feel, think what you actually think, be who you actually are without judgment. This is especially true for people with anxiety, trauma, or depression. Nighttime can feel safer because there's less pressure. No one's watching. No one's expecting anything. You can exist without having to perform existence. Fourth, nighttime offers rebellion. In a world that tries to control every aspect of your life, staying up late is a small act of defiance. You're reclaiming time that's supposed to belong to sleep and using it for yourself. It's autonomy. It's saying, I make the rules for my own life, even if just for a few hours. For people who feel powerless during the day, who spend all their time meeting others' expectations, nighttime becomes the only space where they have control. And that's worth the tiredness the next day. Fifth, nighttime offers the illusion of more time. When you stay up late, the day feels longer. You're stealing hours from tomorrow and adding them to today. And when you feel like you never have enough time, like life is passing too quickly, those stolen hours feel precious. It's procrastinating sleep, yes, but it's also savoring consciousness. It's refusing to let the day end when it feels like you barely got to live it. It's trying to slow down time by refusing to sleep. But here's the cost. Living as a night owl in a morning person world is exhausting. You're constantly sleep deprived because you can't fall asleep when you should and have to wake up before your body's ready. Your sleep is fragmented and insufficient. And chronic sleep deprivation affects everything. Your health, your mood, your cognitive function, your immune system. You're also constantly judged. People assume you're lazy, irresponsible, or lack discipline. They don't understand that you're fighting your own biology every time you drag yourself out of bed at 7 a.m. They just see someone who's tired and assume you did it to yourself through poor choices. There's also social isolation. Your peak hours are when everyone else is asleep. By the time you're fully awake and energized, people are going to bed. So you're out of sync with the world, which makes connection harder. You miss morning activities, brunch with friends, early events. Your life is shifted just enough that you're always slightly out of step with everyone else. And there's the question of whether you're staying up late because you're a night owl or because you're avoiding something. Are you biologically wired this way, or are you using the night to escape from your life? Are you energized by nighttime or exhausted by daytime? This matters because sometimes staying up late is avoidance. You're avoiding sleep because sleeping means tomorrow comes. Tomorrow with its obligations, its stresses, its demands. So you stay up, procrastinating the next day, stealing time that doesn't really belong to you. If you're staying up late while also feeling terrible, hating your tiredness, resenting the next day, that's different from being a genuine night owl. That's using the night to cope with something you haven't addressed about your life. So how do you know which one you are? Ask yourself, if you could structure your life around your natural rhythm, if you could sleep from 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. every day, and the world would accommodate that, would you be happier, healthier, More productive? If yes, you're probably a night owl whose biology doesn't match society's schedule. If no, if you'd still feel the pull to stay up even when you're exhausted, even when you could sleep late, then something else is going on. You might be using nighttime to avoid, to escape, to reclaim control in a life that feels out of control. Here's what helps if you're a genuine night owl. First, advocate for yourself. If you have any flexibility in your schedule, use it. Start work later if you can. Take evening shifts. Structure your most important tasks for afternoon and evening, when you're actually alert. Second, prioritize sleep quality over schedule conformity. If you have to wake up early but you're a night owl, you need excellent sleep hygiene. Dark room, cool temperature, no screens before bed, whatever helps you sleep deeply in the hours you do sleep. Third, use light strategically. Bright light in the evening keeps you alert. Darkness triggers melatonin. If you need to shift your rhythm earlier, use bright light in the morning and dim lights in the evening. If you're embracing your night owl nature, do the opposite. Fourth, stop internalizing the judgment. You're not lazy, you're not undisciplined, you're working with a different biological rhythm, and that's legitimate. The fact that society doesn't accommodate it doesn't make it wrong. And fifth, if your late nights are about avoidance, address what you're avoiding. Is it anxiety about the next day? Lack of control in your life? Unhappiness with your circumstances? You can't solve that by forcing yourself to bed earlier. You have to address the root cause. Here's what people need to understand about night owls. They're not choosing to be difficult. They're not staying up late to be rebellious or lazy. They're either following their natural circadian rhythm, or they're meeting psychological needs that daytime doesn't fulfill. Either way, the judgment doesn't help. Some of history's greatest minds were night owls. Mozart, Kafka, Proust, they all did their best work at night. Not because they were undisciplined, but because their brains worked better after dark. Different doesn't mean defective, it just means different. If you're someone who loves the night, who feels most alive when the world is asleep, know this: you're not wrong. You might be fighting biology that's at odds with society's schedule. You might be claiming the only time that feels truly yours. You might be following a creative rhythm that doesn't fit a 9-to-5 world. Whatever the reason, your pull toward the night is valid. You just have to figure out if it's serving you or costing you. If it's your natural rhythm or your coping mechanism. If it's who you are or how you're surviving. And then you get to decide. Do you embrace it and build a life that accommodates it? Do you shift it because the cost is too high? Do you address what's underneath it if it's about avoidance? But you don't have to feel guilty about it. You don't have to let people shame you for not being a morning person. You don't have to force yourself into a rhythm that doesn't fit just to make others comfortable. The night is yours if you want it. The quiet, the solitude, the freedom, the creativity, all of it. And if that's when you come alive, then that's when you should be awake. Not because the world says so, but because you know yourself and you know when you're most you. And sometimes that's after dark, when everyone else is sleeping, when the world finally goes quiet, when you can finally, fully be yourself. That's not a problem to fix. That's just who you are. And who you are is enough, even at 3 a.m, especially at 3 a.m, because that's when the night people find themselves. In the hours everyone else surrenders, in the quiet everyone else misses, in the darkness that, for you, feels most like light.